Dreaming of hydrated skin amidst these dry winter months? Dime offers clean, master esthetician crafted skincare products that deeply nourish, protect, and hydrate. Their formulas, made with clean ingredients, lock in moisture for skin that stays soft, smooth, and radiant all season long. Hydration starts with Dime's best-selling hyaluronic acid serum, delivering deep moisture where your skin craves it most. This lightweight, fast-absorbing serum helps quench dryness, plump skin, and boost elasticity from the inside out. Once your skin is prepped with the serum, seal in all that hydration with their Dewy Day Cream, a rich, luxurious moisturizer designed to provide all-day softness and lasting glow. Together, this powerful duo keeps your skin smooth, supple, and luminous, even in the harshest weather. Shop the duo now at dimebeautyco.com. That's dimebeautyco.com. And get the hydrated skin of your dreams.
Don't miss Good American Family.
We have a little girl here for adoption.
She has dwarfism.
Starring Ellen Pompeo and Mark Duplass.
Something is off.
She's just a little girl. You think she's faking?
She has adult teeth. There are signs of puberty.
Inspired by the shocking stories that tore a family apart.
I don't know what's going on.
How old are you?
You should get a lawyer.
You have no idea how those people hurt this girl.
The Hulu original series, Good American Family, premieres March 19th, streaming on Hulu.
At the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, get deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Now's the best time to get that Hyundai car or SUV you've always wanted. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with America's Best Warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of limited, complimentary maintenance. Don't think you can get away with all that? Think again. But don't wait. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is going on now. So visit your local Hyundai dealer today. It's a great day for a new Hyundai.
This episode brought to you by the following patrons: Leaf Girl, Min, Jason, Sex Caliber Bones a Lot, Madeline, Alyssa, Vixen, Holly, Laura, Jeremy with the laser eyes, Allie, Logan, Libby, Kristen, Tia, and Jonathan. And all the patrons want you to know you're loved, you're listened to, and you're a valuable member of this awesome Horror Virgin community. And if you want to hang out with us, do so in the Facebook group where we'll be hanging out daily.
And that's the seventh reason. Well, I don't like vegans, or pit bulls, or Alien 3.
Mikey, you love Pitbull.
No, Pitbull the artist. I know, he had a story go viral where he's like, I'm so happy that everybody's wearing the bald caps. And I was like, I knew about this years ago.
I know, and they've been posting about it on the news like all week. My whole algorithm, I think it's because Mikey's back, my entire algorithm is just like, do you see all these girls in bald caps? And I'm like, yeah, go off, sis.
He's a hero for our age.
He knew our rent was about to be due about a week ago, and we worked our tail off, but...
Do you guys still do laugh lines? What do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, last time we didn't. We just got into it.
No, last time we did.
Yeah, we did. We just did it very fast.
I wouldn't know how to do it very fast. I'm talking about sex.
Because you get out of breath, right?
Yeah, gotta slow it down.
It's a cardiovascular issue.
Thank you for tuning into Horror Virgin. I'm Paige.
I'm Mikey.
And I'm your Horror Virgin Todd, which means I don't like scary movies, and you guys make me watch them. But this week, Mikey came back and made us watch
Night of the Demons.
So guys, when was the first time you sat and watched Night of the Demons?
I was wrong. I had seen this before.
You had seen this before? I was shocked to hear that you had not seen this before. I was like, that seems impossible.
All these 80 movies, I was like, I don't think I've seen that. Then I watched it. I was like, oh, I've totally seen them.
Yeah.
So when did you see it, though, I guess, is my question.
So in the 90s?
I saw this during pandemic, I think. Jake and I sat down and watched this because it was a movie he had seen probably in the 90s and was like, this is fucking wild. Let's watch it.
Yeah, it is pretty wild, guys.
Indeed.
This was the first time I had seen it, and I am super glad that I finally have learned where women hide the lipstick in the bra. Like I was like, oh shit, that's where it goes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, I was joking with another big-titted lady the other day about how many things we could fit in our bra, and we had both at one point in our lives been to a diner and been able to fit all of the jams and sugar packets, and that was fun.
That's the strangest kind of stuffing I've ever heard.
I think I watched this on Monster Vision on TNT when I was a child.
I was going to say, as a child is how you should watch this.
Which meant they cut the boobs out. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get to see the boob stuff, so that was new for me.
There's a lot of boobs in this movie.
There's a lot of boobs, and that's the way it should be.
I mean, for like this kind of 80s, like low budget horror, yeah, that's kind of the way it is. Like,
I don't understand why you two are so big on violence and gore, but are so not big on sexuality.
Mikey, in your absence, I have adopted a new catchphrase that people want to put on shirts, but I am too exhausted to put on shirts.
They've tagged me, and I was like, I don't say that. I guess I don't say the T word as much either.
What?
The titty word.
I like how you said the word while saying the word, like the titty word.
I just don't say it in like my it's not my everyday.
What do you say when you're like really going at it and you're grabbing them? Like, what do you say?
Do you narrate yourself grabbing them?
Yeah.
I'm grabbing you.
And then he thrust into her deeply, and she loved it.
Licked your nipple. Lick the nipple.
I honestly, my diary is just full of like Dennisian writings.
Okay,
like that.
Okay, let's talk about sex. Let's do it. So when I first when I date someone, we start the.
Oh shit, we're getting into it. Okay, yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, we're getting into it. Let's go.
I'll have like an orientation conversation about like, do you prefer the P word or do you not like that? Do you want me to say boob or T?
So you found yourself dating a Mikey?
No.
Welcome to your orientation video. In this video, we'll discuss likes and dislikes and kinks and whatnot.
I told y'all I'll use these words in the hot and heavy moments. They're for me and my special people, you know?
Where do you see these boobs in 5 years?
Some people don't like. Yeah, some people don't like. What are your goals? What are your relationship goals with those boobies?
What are you, an Enneagram 8? Enneagram double D?
Some people have gotten very offended at certain words, so it's best to just ask it in the beginning.
Interesting. I am asking this completely seriously. I do want to know and have a rational adult conversation about this. Which words offended people?
The P word has offended people in the past.
Really?
Well, I've told y'all that story about like that one girl
yes.
I can only sex with textbook appropriate terminology, which was weird. Also weird.
Oh yeah, that is a little strange for me. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, touch that penis.
Yes.
My
Gross.
mons pubis.
You make my vagina feel good. Yeah.
Oh, the labia majora. Now hit that menorah, bitch. Yeah. Okay.
Spin it.
Spin it. Bop it. Twist it.
Pull it.
Okay. Has anyone ever gotten offended by titties?
I think, you just don't know.
What about sweater hams?
Sweater hands.
I just feel like that would take a long time. Although,
No, I just asked them. Oh, like, if we're going to sex or we're going to dirty talk, like, I need to know, like, what your preferred words are.
What are your dirty talk do's and don'ts? I get it.
Yeah.
I think that's an appropriate conversation to have.
Called healthy communication.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's weird that that's the first date question, like path you go down, but like that's fine.
That's my prompt on my dating app.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Do you prefer pussy or meat curtains?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to go down to your Arby's.
They got the meats, baby.
On a scale where 1 is vagina and 10 is gash, where do you fall in the level of offense?
Can I ask a clarifying question really quick?
Sure.
Is 1 most or is 10 most offensive?
Ooh.
I would say that 1 is the most clinical and 10 is the most crass.
I'm sorry, we can't call it a gash anymore.
I mean,
Sorry, I've never called it that. That's such a weird thing to call it. It's so weird. Anyway, to help refocus us back on the movie, because that's where everyone else wants us to be except for us, her brother is on the screen in 2 separate scenes. In each of those scenes, he has a different nickname for her, Judy's boobs.
Yes.
And I think that that's weird.
It's very Pornhub of him, yes.
I'm just going to say it. It's weird. It's real Mikey's, I think this movie didn't have enough boobs energy, and that's all I'm going to say.
I don't have a sister. So
thank God, Mikey.
But it was odd. No, I just thought that whole thing was a little odd.
You're like, not even stepsister?
This was an unfocused start, but we're gonna get there.
This is an unfocused movie with bad pacing issues. So like
And there's got to be an A to B to C to have pacing.
Right. I mean, now if we're talking about pacing in the sense of a pedometer, they actually pace it pretty good. Everyone in this movie does a lot of cardio and runs a lot.
Well, that's because this is basically the Grave Encounters prequel that I deserved and wanted. Am I wrong, Mikey? I'm not wrong.
No,
it's Grave Encounters.
Wrong.
It's not a psychiatric. It's a haunted.
It's a haunted funeral home that's the biggest in 4 counties, where the funeral director used to have sex with the bodies.
There's like 7 stories they tell about this building.
I know. It's crazy.
I know. Every single one gets progressively worse. Here's what I'm missing from Grave Encounters is that moment in Grave Encounters where he's fully zombied out. And he just turns to the camera and is like, come down this hallway with me. Like he's still hosting the show.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I'm mid on Grave Encounters in general until that moment. And then I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Let's go.
I think the best part of this movie is the special effects.
Absolutely.
I think the best part of this movie is, the one guy who's like, my dad's a preacher. I hate all of this and I want to leave you all behind.
And I want to leave. I just want to get out.
That's Roger.
And he gets out.
You got to love Roger.
And my question to you two is if you were Roger, I would have left her behind so long ago.
Mikey, I love that every time, I just know that like in the 80s, they were like, man, Roger's such a coward. But no, Roger's smart.
Oh.
He sees something scary and immediately runs.
Right.
And then everyone else eventually runs to him anyway. Like, he's just smarter than everybody else.
And he's not that close with that group of friends.
No. Yeah.
Like at the end when he's trying to pull her up, and I would have been like, girl, you've got to put an effort into this, or like, I'm leaving.
He was like, climb, girl, climb, is what he said, literally. He was like, all you got to do is climb. Come on, let's go.
He barely knows that girl.
Yes.
Like they literally met that night. But my favorite part is the movie forgets about that girl. She's our main character for the first 20 minutes.
She's the final girl.
She's a final girl.
And that's how she survived. We forgot about her.
We forgot about her. She is not in this movie for the middle 40 minutes.
It's about Suzanne and
and Jay and Angela and
Yeah.
everybody.
I don't know their names.
I know some of their names. This is going to be a rough one.
I know their names because IMDb exists.
Yeah.
So I got you covered.
They cut back to her in that room and I was like, oh shit, she's still here. Like I said it out loud. I was like, oh, you're still here?
It's just a venue of just killing teenagers. And that's fine. But yeah, if I was Roger, I would have been so gone so long ago. Like it's...
Yeah.
I mean, this has, with the special effects, with the, maybe not a plot, this has some Evil Dead vibes.
Yeah.
And it's just not quite silly enough to be an Evil Dead movie. But it's one of those things where it's like, yo, if you like Evil Dead, you'll like this. Because they're basically Deadites. But then at the end, when they're like, I have such delights to show you, I'm like, is this a Hellraiser movie? Like, what is happening with these demons?
It does sort of sound that way. At one point, I was like, oh my God, is this like a Hellraiser side quest? Because I don't need that.
I call it a puzzle box when we're texting.
Yeah. Okay, nice. All right.
Yo, girl, let me see that puzzle box.
But, I mean, if you're looking for like a silly horror movie,
Yeah.
like this one's good. It's short. There's a lot of vignettes. There's a lot of good kills, a lot of good special effects.
Oh, it's a good time.
I'd say if you're looking for a specific like 80s vibe of a horror movie, this fills that to a T. If you're looking for just like a great horror movie, maybe not so much.
Well, yeah,
but
I would say one that you don't have to pay attention to.
Oh, yes.
Because it does not matter. I will say, and here's the one thing, because the pacing is terrible. It takes us 40 minutes for anything to fucking happen. But then once it does, it's a lot of them just running around the house. But halfway through this movie, almost exactly half, we get like a 3.5 minute scene of Angela dancing in front of the fireplace for forever.
Oh, doing the gothy striptease or whatever?
Yeah.
And it goes on way too long, and I don't care. I love every second of it. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Okay, go. I was like, it goes on just the right of time.
It's like a strobe light burlesque show. It's kind of awesome.
And I'm fucking here for it. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, every like film critic part of me should be like, cut this out, that we needed 2 seconds of this or whatever. No, I want the whole thing. And I'm just like, oh my God, what a fucking, like, if you were doing a Halloween burlesque and you did this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Like, yes. It's so fucking lit.
So I watched the movie twice to prepare for this episode.
Oh my God,
goodness,
Mikey, you prepared?
So I watched the movie by itself.
Okay.
And then Last Drive-In did an episode on it. So I watched that.
Nice. Okay.
So Roger and the final girl were supposed to like kiss and stuff in the movie, but that was too progressive for the time.
It would have been in 88. Yeah, that's a shame.
I wondered that in 88.
But yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Well, I mean, it's progressive already because he doesn't die.
Right. Well, I mean, I would like to have kissed because that explains why he like waited for her to be like really dumb at climbing. But
climb, girl, climb.
She's like, I can't, and I'd be like, okay, well, bye.
I'll see you never then. Enjoy death. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he does the right thing and tries to help her, but like, if she's not even gonna put the effort in, like, I'm not gonna continue carrying you on my back.
Help me, help you.
Yeah.
I also think that Sal's not a bad guy.
You don't?
Oh yeah.
And he's just caught up in this.
The guy is he the one who gets impaled at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who showed up at her house to try to ask her out at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a red herring.
I also think he's the hottest, but yeah, red herring.
Paige, could you be more Italian, please? Yeah, of course you thought he was the hottest. Yeah, I know. You don't have to show me your pizza or pasta tat. I know.
This movie's hard to get into because it was like there's a Halloween dance at school, but then like your friends were like, let's go to the Halloween dance or let's go to the haunted crematorium place where it was like
that also is on an indigenous burial ground and also surrounded by a stream of running water to keep the demons inside.
It's like an evil stream moat kind of thing. I would have been like, bitch, you had a no out of me at Haunted, which was 85 words ago.
Yeah.
So let's go to the dance.
I've been like, no, let's go to the dance. Yes. And they got free food or whatever.
I'm not going to say you shouldn't factor in culinary when making the decision, but it does change my answer, sir. Let's go where the punch is.
They're not even like drinking alcohol or anything at this party. It doesn't seem like they're just like listening to a boombox.
Yeah, they're just listening to a boombox. There are beers. There's suggestion of drugs, but we never see them.
I mean, Suzanne's just hanging out trying to give everybody a whiff.
I mean, good night.
But it's like generally like a boring party.
Linnea Quigley in this movie as Suzanne, it's honestly, she's not even twerking or dancing half the time. She's just like bent over in front of people.
Right.
Regardless of who they're there with. Yes. And everyone's just like, that's just Suzanne.
She's giving him a whiff.
Yeah. She likes it.
Oh, so funny.
That honeypot sting at the convenience store.
Oh my God, that was brilliant.
I loved it actually. I thought it was great because at first you're like, oh man, they really probably should like let her know that's happening instead of just like ogling her.
Yeah.
And then what you realize is she's fucking in on it. So she's not like a victim here. She is like set a trap for them so her friend can rob them blind. So I feel a little bit better about what they're doing because they're just falling for her trap, you know? The agency of it all makes me feel better about it.
Absolutely.
Which is weird to talk about in a movie from 1988.
Look, there's nothing that Suzanne does that Suzanne did not choose to do of her own volition and no one forced her to do it.
Even when she got the demon peas or whatever you call getting the demon.
She got possessed.
I don't know. It's sort of like sexually transmitted, right? You guys got that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like mono. It's like the kissing demons disease.
Yeah. It's the demon peas or whatever, like herpes or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. It's HPV. Hell.
Oh, wow.
PV. Look, I've had to be on and telling jokes for like 5 days straight now. Sometimes hell PV is the best we're going to get.
Honestly, didn't hate it.
I do like... We have the agency of Suzanne doing whatever she fucking wants, sticking lipstick in her nipples and all kinds of shit.
Right.
But then on the flip side, we've got Judy who is like, no, I don't want to sleep with you. And it doesn't matter if I slept with somebody else. That doesn't change this right now. And like, I respected the hell out of her for kicking Jay out.
Yes.
It's pretty progressive for the 80s. Like, that's what I was getting at. Like, it's a strangely progressive movie. Like, I didn't know that like Night of the Demons was the progressive like yell from the late 80s, but I'm hearing you, Night of the Demons. I'm getting the message.
Yep. Yeah.
Also, this movie came out 3 years after Back to the Future, and I cannot put my brain around the difference in quality from a filmmaking standpoint. I've wanted to yell that since I started watching it.
Yeah.
I know it's not fair because the budgets are crazy different, but still crazy.
I know, but like, how did Back to the Future look so shitty with their huge budget?
I know,
right? They couldn't get Doc shoving that like nuclear particle thing in his nipple. Come on.
Look, I'd watch Doc shove a flux capacitor up his, backdoor pocket, but like, they weren't brave enough for that.
If you're looking for that, you're looking for Rick and Morty, which is pretty much exactly Back to the Future doing sexual jokes.
That really exactly is what it is.
I didn't know it was lipstick she shoved into her boob. I thought it was like a birth control implant.
That's like the biggest Depo ever. Or I guess Depo's the shot. What's the under the skin one? I don't remember. I heard it hurts.
Dermo?
I don't care. It's like a woman's thing.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're the only ones who have to worry about it. Thanks for letting our country crumble. Thanks for making us prisoners in our own homes.
Well, at least you own a home,
For now. For now. Until they decide that only my husband's allowed to. What a wonderful time. What a great time to be alive.
That's why I'm back, people.
Do you think I'll get to vote in the next election? I don't know.
I don't think I'll get to vote in the next election.
Next election? You're silly.
Yeah, what election, right? We don't elect kings, stupid. Oh my God.
Hey, do you want to I don't know, babe, cut to this moment and then go through the movie scene by scene?
Let's get those vibes out, everyone. light and fun.
Light, airy, nipples full of lipstick.
We may have just cut out, 20 minutes of us complaining about current situations.
Oh my God, nipstick.
She got there.
Nipstick on a collar.
I have a funny story that kind of reminds me of ladies' lipstick.
Let's do it.
I got a pedicure with my brother and my mother at Christmas.
And this horny dog was there.
No, what? Ugh.
You said lipstick.
But Kevin.
Gross.
Kevin, he got like clear coat on his nails. And I was like, well, I want the full experience. Give me clear coat on my toenails or whatever. That stuff doesn't come off. Like, when does it come off? I don't.
There's this thing called nail polish remover.
You have to remove it.
Yeah, I didn't know about that part.
Have you never done drag, Mikey?
No.
I mean, I know Mikey has not done drag. He don't have the shoulders for it.
I'm going to bring a roll of duct tape to your house and change your tuck. Anyway.
I am not even a cute male, much less a female. So
controversial take. Sometimes the weirdest looking men make the best looking drag queens.
Paige, I don't disagree with that premise, but I am not one of the weird looking men that look great in drag. I just look like a weird looking man.
Yeah, my biggest drag is like my existence. It's a depression joke, everyone. You guys get it?
I think it might be too real, honestly. It's just like things are too sad for that kind of joke right now.
I'm confused by your lack of I shouldn't be, because there are some men who don't even know what body parts we have. So
well, I know there's nail polish remover. I guess I just thought it was it's when you want to quickly change out colors and stuff.
No. If you don't remove it, it will chip off eventually, but it takes a bit.
Yes, they're still shiny, and kickboxing classes are shiny.
Let me ask you something, Mikey. When they put it on, did they put a UV light over it, or did they just let you sit and let it dry?
Sit and let it dry.
Okay, good.
With my glass of wine,
Great. Mm-hmm. Then nail polish remover will take it off.
Okay.
Are you doing was it kickboxing?
Yeah.
Are you doing a kickboxing class in sandals? Why are you worried about people seeing your toenail polish?
Kickboxing classes are barefoot.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Really?
That sounds dope as shit. Okay, awesome.
That sounds like a health hazard for the mats, but okay.
You're not licking the mats, Paige.
They disinfect the mats every class, yeah.
So this is something I learned recently because I have a friend who does MMA shit. That people who grapple on mats at MMA gyms get fucking ringworm all the time because of this exact thing. And I'm like,
I don't
that's the
grapple.
grossest shit I've ever heard.
Yes.
Yeah. No thanks.
I'm like frozen in my grief over that. Like, that's the grossest thing I'll ever hear. Do you know how you get ringworm, guys?
I know.
No, I'm asking. I don't know.
Oh, you can get ringworm any place.
Okay.
Literally anywhere.
It's just a fungus that grows anywhere.
Okay.
But it's in the shape of a ring.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, this movie opens with 3 minutes and 27 seconds animated bone bat ass credits that are both too long, but I fucking love them.
They have a vibe.
They got a vibe.
They have like a haunted house vibe.
They have a haunted house vibe, but if that haunted house was in the NES original video game Ninja Gaiden.
It's like a real haunted mansion vibe. Like Disney's haunted mansion.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was watching this on Halloween, I would like traipse around my house doing an Angela style dance during these credits because it's long enough to do that.
Yeah, this song is like legit longer than most pop songs.
Yes.
Like it's like a long credit sequence. I'm like 90% sure they made up half of the crew names and those people didn't exist.
There's a lot of repeats.
You're like, oh shit, I've seen this guy's name like 8 times. He was very busy on set.
Very involved. How is he the gaffer and also the best boy? Anyway, so we end on a fucking rad ass pumpkin cat, or like a pumpkin face head thing that's on the top of a car.
On the top of a Dodge Dart page.
Love it.
that.
Yeah, this is Stooge's car, guys. And you're going to grow to like really not love Stooge, I'll be honest with you.
Is that his name, Stooge?
Stooge, yes. I wrote it down because it was so funny to me. I'm sure that's not his name, but that's like his nickname. That's what everyone calls him. I'm not sure they ever call him his real name if it's not.
He's definitely gonna pledge that like the Revenge of the Nerds like bully frat next year.
The other frat?
Yeah.
It's 1,000% going to be I Felt a Thigh, but yeah.
Yeah, I felt a thigh. I have him in my notes for the entirety of this as Bebop.
That's fair.
That's good. That's really good.
But he has real live fast, die young energy. Like, he's like driving at high speeds, yelling out the car, having his girlfriend or whatever drive so he can go into the passenger seat and moon an old man.
But not even moon him. He's got jack-o'-lantern briefs on.
Oh, it's so. I mean,
that's the only thing that made sense to me, Paige. It's Halloween in this movie.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, he needs to grow. I too have Halloween boxers, but he grabs that steering wheel so aggressively that everyone should have died.
Yeah.
First of all, that old man, they're terrorizing that old man, and he's just mean to everybody because, like, Judy stops to try and help him, like, right after they moon him, and he's like, you damn little whore, you rotten kids. And I'm like, whoa.
I know.
Hey, buddy.
He had real, like, Dickens, Ebenezer Scrooge energy in the first meeting. But at the end of the movie, you sort of understand it. Like, I do feel like the end of the movie gives, like, some like hindsight in this moment. You're like, oh, I get why he's like a terrible person.
Oh, yeah,
because at home, his wife is like trying to murder him every day. And so that's like grating on him.
This is how I'm going to be as an old man.
Oh, that's nice that you guys you're siding with the guy who was going to murder children. She saved our community from a threat, okay?
I don't think he was going to murder children. I think he was a curmudgeonly old man.
He was protecting his home from late night trespassers.
By putting razor blades in apples?
Have you never heard the castle doctrine, Paige? Let me send you like every episode of the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
No.
He's standing his ground.
No, that woman's a hero and y'all don't respect women. Typical.
I mean, I'll respect her all the way to a lifetime sentence for murder 1 for the premeditated murder and baking of an apple pie with razor blades in it.
I'll respect her all the way to a Lifetime original movie about her horrible husband that she saved us from.
Oh, she'll definitely get one. Yeah. It'll be Half-Baked Consequences will be the title, and it'll be all about how this lady killed her husband with a pie.
On a side note, when I get old, I will yell at people like this.
Mikey, are you old now? Because you yell at me like this.
Yes, I'm going to be taking my trash can down, and someone like Paige's age will be walking by and be like, get away, you hussy, you fucking hussy.
Stay away from my trash. They're my cans. You fucking thieving bitch. Like, come on.
But you'll have to do it sounding like Jacob Marley or some shit.
I'll be like, is it still Christmas? And then I'll come out and be like, you whore.
That sounds just like the guy who played Jacob Marley in the Christmas Carol porn parody.
Yeah. Say, young man, what day is it? Why, sir, it's Christmas Day. Go get me the biggest whore you can find, like that.
The one from the red light district window.
Why, the very same. I'm sorry, we said the whore word a lot. It's fun, and we do believe that sex work is real work. We weren't referring to any real people in that.
We were using the word horror.
Also, I'd like to apologize for bringing up Dickens.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I accept your apology.
A Christmas Carol is literally Natalie's favorite book. Like, she loves it. So, like, we watch it all the time. And the Muppet Christmas Carol is like one of our favorite movies. Anyway.
It's a really good story. But this old man is like collapsed on the sidewalk because they scared him, and then Sal came up and scared him again, and then Judy came up and she's like trying to help him with the groceries, and he like brushes her off, and he's like, those kids are gonna get it tonight, and holds up an apple and razor blades, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like we're like 5 minutes in.
The guy wanted a Granny Smith and has to shave for work in the morning. It doesn't mean he should get murdered by his wife later that night, or I guess the next morning.
We're going to put the receipt from that purchase into evidence, and we are going to get this lady acquitted. Mark my words.
Honestly, I'm here for it. He did seem pretty terrible.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. If you're eating apple pie for breakfast, you deserve to die.
Oh my God. Mikey, very pro-cannibal for breakfast, very anti-pie for breakfast.
Why would you say something so controversial and yet so brave?
What about pumpkin pie? I've had pumpkin pie for breakfast. Y'all can eat a dick.
You're lucky to be alive, whore.
Fair.
I had
Fair.
white chocolate cheesecake with a red velvet crust for breakfast the last 2 days.
You better check that shit for razor blades if you stay with me.
I won't.
Because I'll be like eating my toast and 2 like boiled eggs, and then I'll be like, where'd my cheesecake go from last night?
And be like, I don't know, check the razor blade drawer.
Just covered in cheesecake.
I can't shave now. Anyway, Judy, after not being able to help this old man because he yelled at her, goes home, and she asks her mom, like, did Jay call? And her mom's like, no, but Sal called. And she's like, ugh. And then she goes to her room, and Jay does call. So she picks it up. And thus ensues one of the craziest conversations in this movie. Hard to do. But she says, and I quote, I'm so sorry. I got stuck late at school helping with that volunteer thing for the homeless. And Jay says, oh, I told you that shit was a scam. And I was like, he thinks the homeless are a scam? But like, that just shows us he'll be a dick later.
He'll be dead.
He'll be dead. But she then gets dressed for the party. She thinks she's going to the school dance. So she's dressed as like Alice in Wonderland. And despite how conservative her costume is, they definitely have her take off her panties and turn and bend over straight down the barrel of the camera, bare-assed.
Through a mirror. I guess the director and cinematographer didn't realize the mirror was there. This is okay. It's because like she walks off screen, but like still in full view. It's so funny.
Yes, yeah.
But this is the second full moon of the movie. We get quite a few more once Suzanne is introduced as a character.
Correct. But he basically says, hey, we're not going to the dance. We're going to this party at the spooky haunted house hosted by the creepy girl in school. Basically, Lisa Frankenstein having a bop. We're going. And she's like, no, but okay, fine. Because for some reason, she likes him, I guess. Like, come on, Sal's right there.
I got the vibe that maybe he was like a little bit older than her, and there was like some appeal there, but not a lot of like, I don't really know him all that much. He's just like a cute older dude kind of energy between them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or he was more popular or something.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't really seem to like each other a whole lot.
No.
This seems like it's like maybe their first or second date. So.
Well, and they don't seem to have common friends either, because it seems like he's always hanging out with Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
And because like they know each other later. I don't know.
Yeah, none of these people are like each other, but I guess that's high school where you're just like, I hang out with them, but I don't really like them.
I guess. I liked people that I still talk to some people.
I didn't hang out with anybody I didn't like in high school.
All right, losers, whatever.
No, sometimes you end up hanging out with, but not like frequently. I don't know.
Your extended group, like you have like your group of like 2 or 3 that you like adore, and then you have like that extended group, and you're like, I don't really like these other people. Let's just go back to our little group.
Right.
I feel like adore is a bit too much for a friend group. I had a few friends that like I loved intensely. But no, I'm just joking.
Oh, you didn't have like a shrine though at your house? You didn't like take clippings of their hair in class?
Yeah. I mean, Paige, we all had friends that we like had altars for in our closets.
Right.
But like, I'm just I get it. Our close group, our coven, if you will.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't have a group that you took to like a haunted crematorium on Halloween.
I did sort of like that Judy is complaining to the guy she's going on a date with, whose name is not important and I can't not remember.
Jay.
But like, she's saying all these like dope as shit things about Angie like they're bad things. They're like, oh, you mean that like really witchy girl at school?
Yeah, with the hot dresses.
Like it's a bad thing?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that sounds dope as shit.
Well, she was like the witchy girl from history class, which will come back later because one of their friends is, I'm convinced, just in his free time, just listening to Behind the Bastards and Hardcore History, because his entire, like every line of this movie when he's not having sex, he's just like, see, the historical topography of the area mimics that of the steppe. And you're just like,
what?
Bro, how are you friends with these people?
Stonehenge, because of the wind in the region, was actually the world's biggest harmonica until the wood panels blew away.
That checks out.
Did you know, Paige?
That checks out. That really checks out.
There's no way that's true, but I love it.
No, of course there's no. Oh my God. Guys, everyone go right now and update Stonehenge's Wikipedia page.
You can't disprove it.
Could these stones have been placed here by visitors from beyond? But how?
Paige.
Far beyond.
If a documentary started off like it was a regular fucking Stonehenge documentary, like narrated by David Attenborough, and then right during the cold open at the end of the documentary, right before the titles, it was like, but why was Stonehenge built? For what purpose? And what type of music did it play? You'd be like, what? Hang on.
And how did we get the stones here? Had a bitch of a time. You wouldn't believe. And then they just don't tell you about it. They're like, it could hit a high C.
It's a real Halloween 3 vibe. You're right. Yeah.
The world's biggest harmonica. I'm sorry.
Tell me you wouldn't go see Blues Traveler at Stonehenge if it was the world's biggest harmonica.
Only in the windy season.
Only in the windy
season.
On.
Todd.
The only problem is the harmonica has a British accent, so it's a little weird.
Okay.
I just keep picturing Stonehenge and hearing, you know, in Cabin Fever when that guy accidentally swallows the harmonica and then when he breathes, it's like,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, delightful. Anyway, everyone's kind of making their way to the party. So they meet up with 2 other friends. One's dressed as a nurse. One's dressed as Peter Pan. Doesn't matter. That Peter Pan costume going to be gone in a bit.
That's Roger, right? Roger's like...
That's Roger.
No. He's the pirate.
Yeah, Roger's in the Letterman jacket, but yes, a pirate because he's got the headscarf with the chains and the earrings and whatever.
He loses that shit like almost immediately. Though, and I loved it. He was like, oh, shit's haunted in this place. I'm losing accessories.
Yeah, no, it's like Jay shows up to pick up Judy, and this is where he meets the little brother, and the little brother's like, you're only dating her because of the tits. And I'm like, I'm worried that you're spending so much time thinking about your, what we would assume, biological sister's tits.
Right?
Yeah.
By the way, in the first scene, he was hiding in her closet to pop out as she changed, where she wasn't wearing a top. And he referred to her boobs as... Bazongas. And then in this scene, he calls them cha-chas, which means in the 2 scenes we've had with her brother, we've, let's just say, completed the set of pet names he has for her tits.
Right.
I kind of like cha-chas.
I will admit, I did not love this part, but I did really love cha-chas. I was into it. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to use that.
I'm a big fan of sweater hams myself.
Ham!
Yeah, so sexy.
Ham. Yeah, I love ham. I don't know why this is confusing.
I know right now my dog who was asleep just like stood up to attention.
Ham.
They're like a handful of sandbags.
Like a bags of sand.
Yo, have you ever been with a lady before? Sorry, I love that movie's pretty great.
Like the kinetic sand that they sell for children. That's the worst thing in the world to clean up. That just like you squeeze it, it leaves fingerprints and stuff.
Like sand?
Y'all never played with kinetic sand?
Y'all never put fingerprints in like beach sand?
No, it like holds, so it's almost like a clay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, this is also where Sal shows up, and her brother's like, yo, she's gonna be here with another fucking dude, but I'll tell you where she's going for money.
You make it sound like her brother's an asshole for saying this, Paige, but Sal showed up to a rando's house to ask her on a date. Like, he doesn't know her. He doesn't know, I mean, he might know her, but like he's not there to pick her up for a date. That's like super presumptuous to be like, hey, I know it's like the dance tonight, but like, let's go on this date to the dance. Don't you want to see my rat?
Oh God, the rat. I forgot about the fake rat. But he called earlier and she didn't answer or call back.
That is not confirmation of yes, we can go to the dance together tonight.
I know. I'm just saying, in a pre-cell phone era, I don't think it's crazy that someone would show up and ask you out.
I guess maybe that's it. It might be a little bit less weird if he like lives down the block or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I'll give it a pass.
Right.
I've never lived in a time where this would have been okay, though.
Right. We have not, but this is, well, I guess for a year I did.
Right. Sure. Yeah, I don't remember a time. Yeah.
When this movie came out. Anyway, so she heads out with Jay. They're going to go pick up their friends. We cut to the convenience store where we see two dudes looking literally right up Suzanne's skirt because she is bent over, panties akimbo.
Yeah, like she is doing it on purpose. Like there's no way you wouldn't know, right?
Right.
And at first you're like, good God, this is like exploitative and silly and sort of over the top, right? And then you sort of, when it's revealed that she's in on it, you're like, oh, hell yeah. That's why it was so overt, because she was like giving them all a whiff to like, as a diversion, you know?
Yep. While Angela stole everything, and then she signals her and they leave. And on the way out, she's like, hey, do you guys have sour balls? And they're like, oh, yeah. And she's like, too bad you don't get any blowjobs. And then just like leaves. And I'm like, I'm assuming sour balls are a candy of some sort, but she is also making a joke about their testicles rotting as they get unused.
Is that true?
I don't know. That if you don't use it, you lose it,
Mikey.
They just fall off? Is that true? Is that happening?
Look, if my knowledge of male anatomy, or rather just penile anatomy in general, is the same as your knowledge of what can go inside a boob, then yeah.
That's too bad. Ironically, I call my balls cha-chas.
I think you should. Or how about man-racas, like maracas, but they're testes.
I kind of like man-racas, yeah.
I mean, choose your own adventure. If you got testicles, name them something fun.
But then if you're having sex and then you're thinking about what that would sound like as maracas, it sounds like you're a rattlesnake as you're banging away.
Yeah.
Your trouser snake's a rattler.
Hi, I'm Kat.
And I'm Pat.
We're from Seek Treatment Podcast, and we're here to talk about Blue Land. Do you know what I'm so about right now, Pat?
What? Tell me. Do not tell me.
Well, ready for this? I just heard that we're eating and drinking roughly a credit card's worth of plastic a week. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God.
I know. The products we're using are contaminating our water supply, generating hundreds of microplastics that we're eating. So here's the good news. You're never going to believe this. Blue Land is doing something about it. They're eliminating the need for single-use plastic in the products we reach for the most.
From cleaning sprays to hand soap, toilet bowl cleaner, and laundry tablets, all Blue Land products are made with clean ingredients that you can feel good about. Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes, including mine. That's correct.
They offer refillable cleaning products with a beautiful, cohesive design that looks great on your counter. And refills start at just $2.25. You can even set up a subscription or buy in bulk for additional savings. I used my Blue Land spray today. I cleaned my dirty yoga mat with my Blue Land all-purpose spray today. It smelled good. It got the job done, and the bottle looked beautiful while doing it.
Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/save15.
You won't want to miss this. Blueland.com/save15 for 15% off. That's blueland.com/save15 to get 15% off.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was dealing with piles of paperwork and frustrating forms.
And then waiting and wondering and worrying if you were going to get any money back.
Now Taxes is easily uploading your forms to a TurboTax expert who's matched to your unique tax situation.
An expert who's backed by the latest technology, which cross-checks millions of data points for 100% accuracy. While they work on your taxes, you get real-time updates on their progress, and you get the most money back guaranteed, all while you just go about your day.
No stressing, no worrying, no waiting. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com.
Only available with TurboTax Live full service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Anyway, we cut to cartoons on the screen for about 2 minutes as we're still at Jay trying to pick up Judy at her house, and Judy's mom keeps trying to offer him fudge logs.
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
Like tiny pieces of poop.
Her little brother says that. She's like, they look gross, Mom. Stop it.
They look like turds. Anyway, Judy comes out. He goes in to kiss her. She kind of dodges the kiss, which is our first clue that she's like, not 100% into this.
I got the vibe that like she's into him, but it's like too early for even kissing yet. Like, so in my mind, I was like, okay, this is like first or second date.
Yeah.
You know?
I think this is first date.
Because I get like how you wouldn't maybe want to kiss at the beginning of a first date, you know?
Right.
I think it would depend on if I knew the person beforehand.
Yeah, what date? Is it a first date? Yeah.
Well, because they said first date, but if it's first date with somebody I've known for a while.
Or hooked up with.
Or even just knew it, we've been friends and then we're going out on a date. Like, I guess that makes a little more sense.
Mikey, I understand what you're saying though. Like if you just like hooked up with a girl but had never dated her on your first date, I'll definitely,
Yeah.
I definitely throw Natalie a kiss in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they leave and they go to pick up their friends. Meanwhile, the other group, Bebop, Rocksteady, Helen, they're driving to the party, and Stooge is like, give me the map. Drive. Shut up and drive, bitch. No, we're here. And then he jackknifes that car into the middle of a field.
Yeah.
Like just chaos energy.
Yeah. The dude's insane. I love how he says, shut up and drive, bitch, and then wrecks their car, or at least gets it stuck in the ditch or whatever. And then as she's complaining, he says, shut up and walk, bitch, or something like that. It's like almost exactly the same line.
Shut up and start walking.
That's what it is. Yeah. I was like, God, this dude's like kind of my favorite, but also terrible. Like he's way over the top. And that's funny, but he's like a terrible dude.
He's a terrible person. But my favorite was once he was like, oh, the car, like the spare tire, and I don't have like a tire iron. I just, in my notes, have, oh, pig crew.
That is a great Drag Race reference. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also really liked the joke they do when like I thought of these as like the coded as middle class to upper income people, right? Sort of car pulls up, like as that car pulls up as they're stuck.
Jay, Judy, and then their two friends.
Yeah. He's like, do you guys need a hand? And they're like, yeah, probably. And then everyone starts clapping and then they fucking drive away.
So it's such a dick move.
I was like, I'd be so mad if this happened to me, but that's so funny. It really is hilarious.
It's really
So
funny. I didn't know they were going to be at the same party. I was like, oh, that is extra dick move.
Oh, I know.
It's pretty great.
Because it's very much like, see you in 20 minutes. Like,
yep, bye.
It's so funny.
Anyway, they get to the house. It is run down and gross. But as they're walking around outside, waiting for everyone else to arrive, this is where the one friend is like, so yeah, this used to be a funeral home, but he used to fuck the bodies. But then somebody found out about it, so he killed his whole family, including the maid. But they burned the maid. Isn't that crazy? And you're like, how do you know so much?
It also made me so sad for the maid, because that lady was just like at work that day.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Just like that lady that worked for the Murtaughs.
Yeah. She got murdered. Yeah.
Yeah, when he killed all of them allegedly or whatever.
Well, not allegedly. He got convicted of a lot of those things.
Yeah. I just don't know exactly what he got convicted of or not.
There's like a weird Snapchat video that is how he basically got convicted. But then, and they've paid her family, the person who was working in their home, paid her family off, but the whole she fell down the stairs, she was killed, but we don't know why, but they paid it off. Anyway.
Crazy.
Fascinating documentary. Terrible crew dog. But he definitely killed his wife and son. So.
And son, for sure. Yeah. They do a B&E They break into this house, but not before they remark on the wall around the place and that there's an underground stream and that spirits can't cross moving water.
And this is the David Attenborough one of the crew, right? He's like the one who's telling them about the place. Isn't it him who's telling him?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's more, we come to find out that it's Grave Encounters, but it's like the moat that you can't cross is an underground stream, and once you're inside, you can't leave.
Running water is supposed to stop evil spirits, I think, at all. Isn't that like one of the things?
I thought it was seeds. I don't know. It depends on what universe we're in.
The Headless Horseman can't pass that bridge or whatever because of the river.
Right, the bridge. Mothman is just here to warn us about the bridge. It's running water is a thing, or if it's the story of La Llorona as told in those movies, it's like aggressive amounts of seeds.
Right.
So many seeds.
It honestly made me think that the demon was a bird in that movie.
We'll use seeds to attract it to us. I will say that I accidentally have a typo in my notes that says evil spirits can't cross over rubbing water. And I feel like rubbing water is what some of them were trying to do later.
I did like the stethoscope to listen to the water.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny. And I'm not saying you couldn't do it. I don't know how stethoscopes work, but it was silly. I was like, oh, does the ground have a tummy ache?
Oh, I guess he's dressed as a doctor, so that's why he had one. But I had forgotten that in the moment. And I was like, did this dude just bring a stethoscope? Well, he was like, we're going to this cool historical place. Let me get my stethoscope. Like, that's the kind of nerd this guy is, and I kind of love him for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, they break in, they find caskets, and who happens to be in the casket but Sal?
Yeah, because Sal's going to be the kind of guy who, if you're dating his girl, he's going to show up because he's Mr. Gonna haunt your girl.
Yeah. And you know what? He's the one who gets impaled. So, like, you know, at least he's got wood.
He was trying to get someone impaled the whole movie, Paige. You're right. And he got his comeuppance by getting impaled himself.
Well, no, because Sal respected her. I don't think they slept together.
I don't think they did either. I think he was still into her.
Yeah, of course. But he did get that wood in the end.
I think it's kind of coded as he comes from, like, quote, the other side of the tracks. And he's the one she'd rather be with, but family wouldn't approve. Maybe she doesn't want to be with someone who doesn't make enough money. I don't know. All of that's like very understated in this movie.
Yeah.
By the way, like
I think it's her wanting to be with the popular guy and he's maybe not popular.
Sure. Yeah.
Or rich, however you want to interpret that.
Yeah. It's so vague. Like we're applying a lot to that out of our own personal insight and like influence. So like not a lot of that's on screen, but it does, like, her and Sal clearly went on a date, right? And Sal's clearly still into it, and Judy's like okay with him still being into it.
Yeah.
Like she never tells him to like get away from her. I'm on a date with this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But as they all arrive at the house, because Angela and Suzanne show up too, they just kind of turn on music and start dancing around. Somehow, I forget how, but Judy ends up with the lighter.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Can I just say this before we get to the lighter stuff?
Yeah.
Because, like, if I go to, like, any party, if I show up before the organizers who are there to set up the party show up, first off, like, I'm a fucking, like, dork. Like, I am going to get my ass to the high school dance because that's where my nerdy ass belongs.
Right.
And I thought that shit was hilarious. But you're right. I do think it's funny that Judy, after trying and failing to light candles and having to have Angela step in to light a candle, she then like holds the lighter like she's confused as to whether she should like continue to carry this in inventory or put it in her stash inventory and come back to it later.
Yes.
She's like an NPC with broken AI. It's hilarious.
I also loved that Helen, who came with Bebop and Rocksteady, Helen is like, she busts out a strobe light. Like she's just we're all getting seizures tonight.
Right.
She busts out a strobe light and is like, I stole this from my mom. She used to be a real LSD head. And I'm like, I can't think of anything I want less while on LSD than a strobe light.
I've never been on LSD, so I don't know, but I can't imagine LSD or that strobe lights are fun under most like stimulants, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. Because LSD is a hallucinogen.
Right.
That's why you don't want the strobe light. A stimulant, you do want the strobe light. like,
oh yeah, because you want to dance all night, baby. That's right.
you dance
That's
all
right.
night,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, but dancing in a strobe light is not the most fun.
It gives me a headache.
I've never done a stimulant, really. I should say I've never done a stimulant that wasn't prescribed.
Sure.
Yeah.
I bet that would be way more fun to dance and stuff on that.
Their party's a little lame for a high school that sneak into a place party.
It's so lame, guys. The party's 8 people, including the crew.
They don't even have weed.
Yeah, no.
And they didn't bring enough batteries to keep the music going. And that's honestly, you're sort of okay with it.
Yeah.
But
that meant that Bebop was unable to rock steady.
love it. Love it.
Anyway, they go to look for batteries because the jams run out and Stooge can't be without his jams.
I did think it was funny that, like, in this scene, Roger hears something and he's like, what is that?
Yes.
And, like, Stooge comes up and, like, let's go check it out, and puts his arm around Roger. Like, he knows he's a white guy walking to a second location with a black guy in a horror movie in the 80s. And it's funny that Roger's the one that survives in that.
Yes.
I kind of loved it.
I mean, I don't know if the movie had that meta of an understanding being how early this is.
Oh, I don't think it did either, but in hindsight, it's great.
It is hilarious.
Yeah.
But so they walk off, and then Roger runs back into the room terrified because he's hearing things, he's feeling breezes, they're smelling things. And then Stooge comes back in and he's like, I found a mirror. Because once the music died, they were like, oh, let's do a seance. And they're like, nah. And then
which I would be like, no.
Yeah, no.
I know, right? I would have said no at, hey, do you want to skip the school dance and go to a haunted? I would have said no. But if I was here and the music went out, I'd scream and run. I would be out of there so fast.
And be like, the ghosts want us to leave. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But then one of the girls is like, well, instead of like calling on a spirit, let's do a past life seance where we see what happened to us in our past lives. And I'm like, first of all, I've never heard of that, but okay.
Her knowledge of the occult is one, wildly never heard before, and like very confident.
Very confident.
Yeah, welcome to the occult, my friend.
But here's the thing. So if you know any of your occult shit, then you know that what they do is definitely a huge ass no-no.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't fucking fuck with, because they bring the mirror in and she candle scries into the mirror.
Yeah.
Which is usually just to contact the beyond. It's not good.
Well, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to see their past lives. So like, candle scrying is one of the few things that like, I love watching ghost hunter shows. I just do.
Okay.
That's one of the few things that a lot of people on ghost hunters shows refuse to do. So you know when a person who normally would be like, haha, no, I'll pretend that it touched me, are even when those people are like, I won't do that shit because sometimes bad shit comes through. I'm like, cool. How about none of us do that shit? Like,
I'll pay you more to do it. I'll watch your show twice.
I'll watch it twice. And what we watch is that she is candle scrying into the mirror and then the mirror goes black. And I was like,
so she looked in the mirror and it was black. She was blind in a past life.
Mikey, I can't afford to be canceled.
Cut all that, babe.
Natalie, we've got like 5 usable minutes so far this hour.
An hour and 2 minutes in, Mikey thinks this is so gold. For the past 2 minutes, we've created 5 minutes worth of shit. Let's go, Mikey. Hell yeah. In a section where we have to cut literally everything.
Well, okay, so she looks into the clock and it's black.
Clock?
It's a mirror, Mikey.
So she looks into the mirror, it's black. Turns out in her past life, she had masturbated too much and lost her eyesight.
Her name was Cleopatra, okay?
So she immediately starts screaming, look, I did it! I did a joke that we can use!
Oh my God, guys, this is literally our 6th take of jokes. We got there, though.
But she screams because she sees like a demon face and her own dead body. So she basically sees her future.
Yeah.
In the mirror. And everyone's like, what the fuck? Why is she screaming? What is happening?
And you said it was a demon face.
Yeah.
But are you sure it wasn't like one of those photos of like bacteria up close through like those microscopic lenses? maybe not bacteria, but like small organisms.
Amoebas?
There you go.
Amoebas.
It looks like a cockroach demon.
Oh, no. You're talking about like the bear things that live on our eyebrows or whatever?
Yes, that actually is what I was thinking of.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That is what that looks like.
Tell me I'm wrong, Mikey.
He's not wrong.
They're fighting eyebrow like hanger-on demons.
I guessed it. I knew what he's talking about.
I know. Yeah, no, you are 100% right. And I just am uncomfortable with the idea of someone sitting on my face that isn't a burly lumberjack.
It's a microscopic one, so.
Consent. They didn't ask me.
They're the ones being suffocated, Paige.
I personally think it looks like an angular fish from like the deep dark depths of the world or what. Like a.
Did you know that those are like tiny? They posted a picture the other day of one. I was like, I thought this thing was like a big ass. Whatever. All right.
Well, it's all about the angles, Paige, when you're taking those pictures.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's what they call them, an anglefish, Paige. Come on.
Exactly.
John told me about that. John knows what I'm talking about.
No.
John.
No. John doesn't get to come here.
John comes wherever John wants to come, baby.
That's why John should get arrested for exhibition in public.
John's terrible.
But as they move, the mirror falls over and shatters. And we do get a really cool shot of them looking to the shattered like mirror pieces.
It was really cool. It was really like, you know when like you see a movie that's low budget, but they're still like thinking through things to a level where you're like,
yes.
Shit, that is like very low budget, practical, and so effective.
Yes.
Like that shot I was very impressed by, honestly.
Oh, that was real cool.
It's really cool. And then in the very next like sequence, they do like a round robin where the camera spins the room.
It's like That 70s Show, even though I know this is way before that, but it's like that sort of round robin vibe, right?
Yes.
I thought that was cool as shit too.
Very cool.
But you can tell it's low budget because when someone's being pulled in a dolly, you can see, you can see the gait of the dolly operator in that, like, you know how like when both your feet are on the ground as you're walking is the slowest your body is moving forward.
Right.
So like you can see that gait in the pull of the dolly as they're doing like tracking follows.
Yes.
That's how low budget it is, which isn't bad. I don't care. But it's like, if you're that low budget, think things out that won't cost you anything more, but will be cool. And this is a great example of exactly them doing that. I loved it.
Right. So they do a spin, but as they're spinning, Angela is basically like, hey, yo, as the resident witch here, shit's bad. Shit's fucked up hospital and we should fucking leave, I think. And they're like, no, Angela, like it's a party. What the fuck? And Roger's like, honestly, no, preacher's kid. I'm gonna go.
I did love that the preacher's kid knows better. He's like, I know enough to know not to fuck with this.
Right.
It's kind of my philosophy of I don't think it exists, but I'm not going to fuck with it. So I respected Roger a lot because he's a man of science.
I mean, I got you can get creepy vibes from a party and want to leave. Like,
oh, I've done that many times.
Yeah.
I'm like, my ex is here? Creepy. I'm out.
Well, I mean, most of those people are coupled up. Some aren't. Roger's not. I would have been like, this is not my deal, you know?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. If I could be at a school, like my high school dance or whatever, like, not now, that would be weird. I'm just saying, like, if I was at high school age like these kids are, I'd rather be there than here.
Yeah, 100%. So Roger is like, look, we heard the noises, because they're hearing noises coming from the crematorium. And he's like, we heard the noises, we felt the breezes, we felt the cold. I'm not fucking waiting for more signs. I'm just out. And Helen, who saw the shit in the mirror, is like, I'm out too.
Yeah.
But as everyone's kind of leaving, Linnea Quigley, aka Suzanne, is looking at herself in the shards of the mirror, and we can see that she ain't right.
No.
She possessed.
But you can see that in most of the movies she's in. Like, even as trash, you can tell, like, she ain't right. There's something right about that lady. She's too awesome. Like, she's crazy.
They're right.
Too awesome for this world.
More right, yeah.
I know. That's why, like, they literally made movies because of her. Like, she, like, got a lot of these things, like, greenlit and, like, done, which I think is great. Like, they have to have been like, we'll just put her in it and it'll sell because she's, like, the B-movie queen, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, and she has a lot to do in this, which is fun because, like,
I know.
B-movie? This movie made money.
This is a double D movie.
We'll talk about how much money it made, Mikey. But Paige, in this scene, this is where they're talking about the signs of the demon. And those 3 signs are the noise, the stink, and the chill. And I have to ask, which one are each of us?
I thought you were going to ask which noise, which stench, and which chill, because that's an interesting question too. But you mean which one of us is the noise?
Yeah, if one of us is the noise, one of us is the stink, and one of us is the chill, who's who?
You're clearly the chill because of your layers.
Listen, I'll take it. I thought I was at least going to be the noise and probably should have been the stink.
I may be the noise.
Yeah, Mikey's the noise because Mikey doesn't fart. I definitely fart. I eat a lot of dairy.
All right. Listen, I'll take the chill. That's fine because I do got to layer up.
You're in your house right now with layers on. Why don't you just set the temperature where you're comfortable?
Because I'm comfortable wearing a hoodie.
You know what? Here's the thing. Normally, Todd, I would join Mikey in mocking you, except I keep my house cold so I can bundle up because I like being bundled in blankets.
You ever own a hoodie so soft it's like wearing a blanket? That's what I'm doing.
I have an old man blanket in my lap currently. My house is on 61 degrees currently.
Damn.
Ooh, come on down to Mikey's place and warm him up. He might be hypothermic, guys. 61? This is the opposite of the lady who was trying to keep you in a terrarium.
Yeah. My electric bill's like 2.
My electric bill is a thank you note from the city.
But okay, though. Okay. But like jumping off of that, what would, if something was going to warn you a demon was going to come, what's the noise that would warn you, the stink that would warn you, and the chill, and I will allow you to interpret chill in any way that you want, that would warn you that a demon would be there.
All right, let's do it.
I've got the noise.
Okay.
Sulfur, like the sulfur rotten egg smell.
Uh-huh.
The noise would be
one of Toby's secrets, whispered into your ear, very close.
Yeah, somebody whispering.
Like ASMR style, a Toby's secret ASMR style.
The chill would be like my balls, just like really cold.
Do you have vegan balls? Hang on one second. Exclusive, guys.
I don't. That's how I would know. My balls are never cold.
Interesting.
Well, not never, but like usually not. But like I want like a deep, like you'll feel it in your balls that something's wrong, like our ancestors did.
That's the chill?
We don't know that.
Ask the history buff in this movie.
Yeah.
Paige, I don't know if you know this, but people used to feel evil and danger in their testicles. But ever since Stonehenge created the harmonic low rumble that scared the dragons away, we didn't any longer need the spidey sense tingle in our balls to keep us safe. So we lost it through evolution.
I still feel it. So if you want to get laid lines, that's a witchcraft joke.
I got it. I liked it.
Yeah.
That was really good. Well, call the corners of your bedroom. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, Todd, I'm going to write a short sketch about like a mockumentary about Stonehenge being a fucking harmonica because the idea makes me laugh so hard.
Can it be because it created a low rumble that scared away the dragons?
Yes, yes.
If you want me to ad lib an entire lore about it, I could probably do it.
Oh, I'll just write it, Todd, and then we need to just shoot it for super cheap because we'll just be talking heads and we'll just use stock footage of Stonehenge.
Paige, I would ask that you allow me to set up one of the many cameras you see in the room behind me in my backyard and just slowly walk into frame like it's an actual like documentary.
Like Kunk on Earth?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I would like to be the reenactor of all the parts.
I was there. I saw it.
Like the old peasant who's like, no, but then we hear the harmonica music.
No, here's what we do. I buy a shitload of hay. We build a small structure and make Mikey look like he is at the time hearing the harmonic sound and looking up and being like, the dragons are fleeing. Guys, we have to move on, but I love this idea.
Yes. Okay. So at this point, Roger and Helen are going to leave. And Suzanne is like, fine, be pussies, but like, demon's going to possess this house or repossess it tonight anyway.
Right.
Oh,
dun, dun, dun.
It's because they didn't pay their mortgage, so they're getting repossessed by the demon.
Yeah, they're going to come tow that house away.
Yep.
But so Roger and Helen go outside. Meanwhile, everyone else is like, let's split up and fuck. So they all kind of make it their ways to various parts of the house. But Suzanne is like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And Sal tries to go with her. And Stooge is like standing next to him. She's like, actually, I'd rather take Stooge. And he's like, okay, shit. Before she goes, she kisses Angela, passing the possession on.
Yes.
But not giving it away. There's more than one.
Right.
It divides.
Right. It divides.
Yes. Like a virus. Like a sexually passed virus.
Right. And she says, I'm in for all sorts of things tonight. And you're like,
oh, yeah. I'm back into this party.
She then kind of like locks herself in what is basically a storage closet, not the bathroom. And Stooge finds his way into the bathroom, the next room over.
Because she says, I feel like pork tonight, which, Stooge have some backbone, but he went for it.
Yeah.
They call Stooge fat this entire movie, and that dude's not that fat. Like, he's not fat.
Oh, I thought she meant the sausage.
Oh, no, she meant, because he's like dressed as a pig, too. So it's like, it works on all levels.
Yeah. And everyone's calling him fat, too. Like,
I know, but when she's like, I'm in for some pork tonight, I took that to mean like, let's do it. Let's get sausage inside.
Well, Sal was giving up his smoked meat as well, but
Yeah, she wasn't into it. Too bad. Anyway, so Stooge kind of gets left out in the hallway, but then ends up in the room next door, which is the bathroom. But spooky shit happens. Like the doors are closing, the mirror's all broken, whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, outside, Roger's trying to leave, but he can't because now the wall is everywhere and they can't leave.
Which is great.
It's not filmed great, but it's a great idea.
Yeah, that's when I realized that this was just like early grave encounters. And I was like, fuck, yes, this is great. I love it. Yeah.
And as he's looking for kind of a move, like a place in the wall to get out, Helen disappears. So he then gets into the car and just shuts himself in the car to try and keep safe.
Which works. This guy survives, by the way. So
yeah,
hide in your car.
The other two couples, they're like hanging out together while History Boy is historying over everything. And then Jay is kind of like, hey, yeah, enough with that, Discovery Channel. Like she and I are gonna, So they then split up and History Boy and his girlfriend go to fuck in a coffin. Badass.
Which they actually do. Like they have sex in a coffin. Yeah.
Good for them. Meanwhile, Jay and Judy are making out, and Judy does seem to enjoy the making out part. That's great.
Yeah.
But then Jay tries to push it a little further, and she's like, "No,
no, thank you." Yeah.
No, thank you. And he's like, "What the fuck? Well, you went out with Sal and fucked Sal." And it's like, first of all,
have you had his pizza? Of course, I fucked Sal, and none of your business.
I took that entire Stromboli. That's what's up.
He stromboled me. Are you kidding me? I licked all of his bolognese.
Oh, yeah.
The meatballs.
If you hungry, girl, it's bolognese. Anyway, sorry. It's my favorite Silk Sonic lyric.
And if you're hungry, girl, I got fillets.
I know, but it's more fun for me if I say bolognese, and I do not know why. It makes me laugh every time.
Honestly, that song, though, it'd be dropping sabars.
Jesus.
I love that song. Paige, all of that album is top to bottom amazing, in my opinion.
It's an amazing. Anyway, so.
It's a Bruno Mars.
Famous Italian singer, Bruno Mars.
Anyway. They split off. He says, you went out with Sal, so like, what's the big deal? Why don't you want to fuck me?
Right.
Which also like, bro, you ain't Sal. That's why I don't want to fuck you. Like, come on.
Also, I don't want to have sex with anybody in a haunted mansion where like dead people were fornicated with. Like, I'm good to just like go home and have sex. Well, maybe not go home because she lives with her parents because she's in high school. But like go anywhere else that's not this dirty, dingy, condemned building, right?
Techness risk.
You guys know the risk you might get techness.
When we get there, I have a discussion question about sex in a coffin, but like
we're almost there. We're almost there.
I made her dead as a doornail. I doornailed her. You know what I'm saying?
If you're fisting someone in a coffin, you have to do it like they do in Kill Bill with the like hand punch. Nope. Okay.
That's a little much. There's not enough space in a coffin to like, I don't know.
Wiggle your big toe.
Jesus.
Anyway. When she will, and she won't tell him if she slept with Sal. I don't know that she did. They just went out the one time.
She does say it's none of his business, and it's not.
It's none of his business. It's not his business.
It's not his business.
But because she wouldn't put out, he leaves and locks her in that room. And then we forget about her for 40 minutes because what's going on? Suzanne doing weird shit, pulling out her lipstick, drawing on her chest, and then Angela having the epic witch dance.
Yeah, the epic witch dance is pretty great. The next time we see Suzanne, she's got like lipstick on her face. I think it was in sort of a heart shape and like crazy makeup and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. But she like breaks Judy's boyfriend's dick off in a second. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Well, before she does that, she shoves that lipstick into her nipple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to like try and forget that part.
Nope. We got to talk about it.
No, I mean me personally. when I was traumatized by it.
Oh, okay.
No. I make sense. She was trying to make the inside of her be pretty as the outside.
Task failed successfully.
Soul stick for making your soul pretty.
There you go.
Just shove it inside your nipple.
Just shove it inside your nipple.
Side effects may include nipple redness and awesome.
I have a terrible intrusive thought, and I'm so sorry.
Yes, I have a couple yes as well. You share first.
Okay, because I'm just picturing people shoving cylindrical things that are roughly the same like circumference as a lipstick into their nipples, and my first thought was like a Slim Jim, like a beef stick.
Slip a Sin Jim into you.
Yeah, like what if somebody had beef stick nipples? And would that be a pro or a con in a sexual scenario?
It's a con. It's a con. It's a con.
I don't want savory flavors while sexing.
It's a con.
Are you serious?
My intrusive thought is not at disgusting. I was just going to say that I thought she just had really incredibly inward nipples, like innies.
Oh, and I don't know if those are real or if they did prosthetics on top of them.
It's definitely prosthetics, Paige. Like that lipstick didn't go inside her actual body.
I know. I understand that part. But like even before that, I don't know. Because like if you remember from Return of the Living Dead where they did prosthetics over her crotch. Although this one, they let her go full bush.
So, okay, sure. But like in this scene, she opens her shirt and then it cuts to a different part, like a different scene that's happening at the same time, right?
Yes.
Before that cutaway, it's just her chest. And when it cuts back to her, that's when she's wearing the prosthetic chest.
Yeah.
Because you can see like her head is not where it would be for where her chest is.
Yeah.
It's like too far back.
I'm with Todd. I prefer naturals.
Okay, so like a natural smoked beef stick. Like
no.
maybe nitrite free.
Paige, like the last thing I want is the smell of a Slim Jim when I'm naked. Like I don't even say during sex. I mean, at any time I'm naked, I don't want to smell a Slim Jim.
I don't want Slim Jim there, even if he's in a chair in the corner.
What about Macho Man?
Hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, brother. Give it to my wife.
There's nothing I want to hear more than snap into a Slim Todd.
Slap it to my wife because he's sitting in the corner, you know?
You're cucking the Macho Man Randy Savage. That's how alpha you are.
Mikey, is this your new thing? Is this what you've gotten into since you've been off the podcast?
You mean going around and banging ex-wrestlers' wives? Yes, Stone Cold Steve Austin's wife better watch out.
Yes, Paige, I have turned heel. No, but seriously, I don't want to talk about Slim Jim smells at sex. It's just so disgusting. Slim Jims smell so terrible. They taste good, but they smell so bad.
I'm grossing Mikey out so bad this episode, and it's cracking me up.
I'm just picturing having sex and one of the people that I'm either eating a Slim Jim or she is, and it makes me want to gag like Todd.
I don't like it either, Mikey. That would gross me out too.
I'm picturing having sex while dealing with like the little skin that's over the Slim Jim.
Oh God, I do hate the skin.
While it's in your mouth and it's like the waxy.
Because it gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, I'm like, bleh, bleh.
Guys, it's called the foreskin.
Oh,
Mikey, your like breathe out exclamation there was perfect.
Oh, I prefer my Slim Jim circumcised. Yeah, so there's the dance and the baked boobs and the lipstick, and it's cool. Everyone's going demony. It's fun.
Well, and this is the part of the movie that everybody remembers, right? Because like,
yes,
it's the cool witchy dance. It's the makeup in the nipples. It's like everything, and then people are getting their like deadite faces, and Sal comes in and is just like, "What's wrong with you? You seem pretty fucking weird,"
which is fair.
Yeah, and she then turns around and is like, "Oh, I was just warming my hands by the fire," and they're like fucking on fire, like she's burning her hands. She's full demon, full deadite.
Yeah.
And he like runs into Stooge, and Stooge is like, "Hey, yeah, Angela, doing your fucking witch dance." And he's like, "Yeah, bro, you don't want none of this. Like, you cannot handle this witchy bitch. Like, you ain't ready." And Stooge is like, "I'm ready. It's fine." And they end up making out, and she just like eats his face.
She, I think, rips his tongue out, I think.
Yeah, spits his tongue out.
It's gross.
But like the whole front of his face. And Sal is like, "Fuck this. Bye."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jay, after leaving Judy in that room locked up forever, runs into Suzanne, and Suzanne's just like, "I'll slob on your knob. Let's go." Like, whatever. She literally just like walks towards him, bush out. And I'm like, good for you, girl.
She's trying to give everybody a whiff, Paige.
So he and Suzanne are going to bang because she is putting the pussy in the wind. Good for her.
She's thinking with her puzzle box.
That's what's up. And she eventually like gets on top of him, but it goes bad pretty quickly. She's about to push his eyes out with her thumbs.
I just want to go to Mardi Gras right now and just see a bunch of ladies with bald caps with t-shirts under their white tux blazer that say, I'm thinking with my puzzle box tonight.
My perfect woman. You described my perfect woman.
I had no idea that Pitbull was so into Hellraiser.
It's the crossover you didn't know you wanted, but it's there.
You didn't know you wanted. I have such jams to play you. I knew my rent was going to be due about a week ago, but you have to experience the pleasure and the pain. Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Underworldwide.
Oh.
Hotel, motel, puzzle box in. Good concert, everyone. See Pitbull.
Anyway, Roger goes to the car, or is in the car, and he's startled by a noise and a thud, and he thinks that it's Stooge messing with the car. It is not. It is Helen's dead body. And I do like that later when we see her face is smushed to one side from the windshield. I think that's pretty fun.
I'm sad we didn't get to see whoever threw her off.
Yeah, we don't really see anything of her. She just, appears there.
Dark take, I think it was Sal.
Wow, he was not a demon.
I'm not here for this anti-Italian sentiment.
I'm just saying I think someone in her family owed some people some money, Paige.
I'm just saying that all we see on the film is that she was lonely because she wandered off by herself.
That's fair. Yeah.
I think Roger, like he's literally just waiting in his car all night, for the thing to be. I would have walked away. I would have
He tried that. It's grave encounters. He can't walk away.
Oh, he can't walk away?
He could have climbed the fence earlier, but he doesn't think about climbing the fence until later.
He doesn't. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I thought he did find the fence, but didn't climb it.
Yeah, I guess he just thought I guess in the morning the security will come and they'll unbrick the gate.
right.
Or whatever.
He definitely does not react to that in a scare. He's like, I guess I'll sleep in the car.
I would definitely be like, I'll just climb it. Or try and figure out a way over it or whatever. Yeah, it's a good point.
I would be pissed to be there's no food, there's no water, there's no comfortable I would be like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna climb this thing and get out. No one cares about me here.
Right. Well, but Mikey, how terrified would you be though if you walked into a house and then less than an hour later you walked out and now there was no way out and it's a brick wall. It's just bricked in completely. I'd be like, this is the devil, just like foosball, and it is time for me to anything in my power to get out of this situation.
Yes, 100%. I wouldn't be napping.
Yeah, I wouldn't sleep anywhere. You're not safe there.
I could nap.
I'd be arming myself.
I'd be legging myself.
Roger was very chill about the whole thing.
Too chill, perhaps, but
it's because Roger knew the truth and was prepared. He's like, okay, there's a demon. I just need to survive till morning. So the best thing I can do right now is rest up.
Yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, Judy's still locked in that room, and Roger has now run back into the house where he meets up with Sal, and he's like, yo, Angela's a deadite. Helen is dead on the top of the car. Shit's fucked up hospital. What are we doing? And Sal's like, yeah, no, this shit's fucked. Let's go. But let's see if we can find anybody else so we can all leave together. So they do a quick run through the house and they find Judy. And he's like, thank goodness, Judy, we're not going to try and save Jay. Let's go.
Right.
We're out. Not even going to look for him. And as they're trying to get out, this is where they as they're looking through doors, they enter the room with Suzanne. And at first, Suzanne looks normal. But then they see Jay with his fucked up eyes. And we realize Suzanne is full demon.
Well, it's because she had poked out his eyes. She popped his eyes like they were grapes or whatever. And then she says, what's wrong, Judy? Don't like your blind date? And I was like, hell yeah, Count Chocula. Let's get into it.
That's later. In this one, she says, see, Judy, run, Judy, run.
That's right.
Which is also great. It's great. But she throws Sal out the window and he wakes up outside and then climbs a water pipe back into the house. Meanwhile, Judy has no sense of urgency. She backed out of the room with Suzanne and her boyfriend that now has no eyes. And then she's just slowly creeping through the hallways. Girl, run.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, in her defense, she just woke up and doesn't know what's going on. She was locked in her room when all this was going down.
True. But Angela then starts chasing her throughout the house.
She told Sal not to buy that Red Ryder BB gun.
But Sal is trying to make his way back in the house. Roger's still in the house because the movie forgot Roger was there. Because he's been there the whole time, and somehow Judy's still wandering around alone, even though Roger, full ass, still there.
Yeah, because Roger's taking a nap in the car. He's resting up.
No. Roger's back in the house at this point.
Because he's done with his nap. He's fresh and ready to go.
The movie forgot he was there.
Maybe.
100%.
Yeah.
Because, it's like Angela's chasing Judy with no one around, and then suddenly Sal and Roger are back, and they're just like, we're back. It's like convenient. And thus begins most of the rest of the movie is just them running through various hallways. At this point, they end up out on the roof, which is where Roger kind of gets down off the roof onto the wall. At which point, by the way, could have jumped over onto the other side of the wall.
And should have.
Yeah. He's trying to get Judy onto the wall. And Sal ends up on the roof, and Angela and Sal fall off the roof fighting. And it's like 2 stories. This is how Sal gets impaled. And at first it looks like Angela's dead, but no.
But it's a fall, man. They tumble, and he does get impaled on the fence or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an impressive stunt.
Yeah, it actually is a really cool stunt. Roger and Judy are on the wall and don't just pop over to the other side. Instead, they pop back into the house.
Hell no.
Where they get chased.
Go back to my original question. I would have left these people behind as soon as I had the opportunity.
Yeah, because they get chased by Stooge and then later by Angela, because everyone's there. They get chased into the crematorium and there's demons banging on all the doors and everything.
Yeah.
And this is the point at which, and I thought she was going to pull a water pipe because they can't cross running water. But no, she pulls a gas line, which probably would have killed everyone, but she uses it as a flamethrower with the lighter.
I have a question just right here really quick, a little unrelated.
Sure.
What she does in this moment where she pulls the gas line out of the oven and then lights it, is that the oven equivalent of lighting a fart on fire?
It absolutely is, Todd.
Yes, it absolutely is.
She blew flames her way out of this room.
I'll be taking no questions. Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be asking none. But this is then where, so they've burned them. They have this whole plan. And she's like, they won't go to hell tonight because it's Halloween. And remember what Helen told us about the veil and the Halloween. And I'm like, Helen didn't say any of this shit that I remember in this movie. And maybe I just stopped paying attention because of the dancing.
It doesn't matter. There's words. It's fine.
That it doesn't matter.
It was probably the nerdy dude with his stethoscope, honestly.
Yeah.
Listen to the water.
But they get kind of cornered into a hallway. They can't get out of the front door. And Roger just goes, won't get me, and jumps through a window, which is fucking great.
I wouldn't even call it a jump, because a jump would be you run through and your body is still up.
Right.
He barrel rolls through it. It's like a forward flip through the window, and he stands up oh my God, I'm still alive. I think even he is shocked to not be dead.
He goes full Star Fox through that window and pops up.
Do a barrel roll, Roger.
He led her on the jumping out of a window team, okay?
I mean, but I just love that he just says, won't get me. It's like Tim Robbins in War of the Worlds. Not my blood, just gone. And then she follows after, and he's trying to climb the wall. He's climbing by grabbing barbed wire. He gets to the top of the wall. He's trying to pull her up. They're trying to pull her down. And this is where he goes, climb, girl, climb.
I know.
And you're like, yeah, help him, please. She finally climbs. They get to the other side of the wall just as the sun comes up and all the demons turn into dust. You think that's the end of the movie. It's not. We cut to that old man's house.
Well, the big demon goes into the sky. You see the big demon head in the sky, the angular fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, the angular fish, yeah.
The weirdest Teletubby son ever.
He's like, bye, thanks for stopping by our haunted crematorium.
You know how the son laughs?
Can I also point out that they drove a while to get there?
Yes.
And they are now just walking away from it. Minutes after this, they walk past that guy's house.
Right. They're 2 miles away from the car in the ditch, which means they're an additional few miles from the guy's house. But yeah, it's literally next door somehow.
I know. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. He's just down the street from the crematorium place.
That old man wakes up and his wife has made him an apple pie. And she's like, yeah, I made it with all the extra apples. Which, by the way, you couldn't cut through a thing with razor blades in it and not notice the blade. There's no way this would happen. But this is purely so they can do the special effects.
I take small bites, and razor blades are pretty, like, I would
They're
feel
big.
a razor blade. Yeah.
I would feel a razor blade. But he, in theory, has eaten multiple razor blades and it slices through his neck. And his wife is just there like, I just did a societal good. And that's the movie.
I do love that this movie ends with a casually unrelated domestic homicide. But what did you guys think about Night of the Demons?
It was a long way to go to get us to a Gene Hackman's death joke, which, you know.
Oh, no.
It's suspicious. Maybe she cooked.
It's super suspicious. I have so many questions.
It was dead for days. And also, what happened, guys?
Check the apples.
I see the connection.
I have a theory.
Is it that Granny Smith did it?
Was she a real person and those were like her apples?
No, but I'll tell you who did it. Macintosh.
The computer guy?
No, the apple. These are all different kinds of apples.
I
That's
know.
the joke.
I know Apple computers. I was like,
yes,
trying to be dumb on your joke.
The way to subvert it the third time, and what I was going to say is Steve Jobs, but...
Well, I liked when Steve Jobs introduced that new computer, the Red Delicious.
Tastiest computer around.
What's the Japanese one? The Fukushima or whatever? Yeah.
Fuji apples.
Fuji apples.
Yeah. It's definitely not Fukushima, guys. That's where the nuclear reactor blew up, but whatever. Yeah.
But those apples are hot.
Those apples, honestly, if you guys ever had a Fukushima spicy, those things are so tart.
I have a hot take about the film to get us back on track.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Hit me with some final thoughts, Mikey. Yeah.
My final thoughts. It's not one that I will revisit often. It's not as one that I enjoyed a lot.
It's not as fun as your regular Mikey movie, but it is, I think, definitely in the Mikey movie area. It hit the Mikey movie target. It's not my favorite version.
I'm chasing that Madman Mars, the Madman's.
Yeah, you're TCM2. You're chasing that.
Chasing that high.
We're honestly trying to ride that Madman TCM2 dragon, but unfortunately, the big harmonica at Stonehenge scared all of them away.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I let y'all down on this.
No.
one. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's just not as ridiculous as I can get.
Right. Here's the thing. I will go back and watch this just for the dance scenes, and I'll probably just YouTube the dancing because I just think it's fucking rad.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that.
Yeah. And I do love witnessing people seeing the boob thing for the first time.
Just the first time you drop them out, you like to really gaze on their facial expression. Yeah.
It's like when I showed my parents Malignant for the first time.
Man, I'm glad you said Malignant for the first time when you started that sentence. Yes.
Yeah. Malignant for the first time, and then I just waited for the little like Bacter arm thing to happen, and I just watched my dad scream with glee. It was great.
But yeah, Mikey, I kind of agree. Like, it's not my favorite like B horror movie from the 80s, but it is, I think, a good entry. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But Paige, do you have any final thoughts?
Well, I kind of gave my final thoughts. I'll watch this again. I find it fun. It's not the best. It's not the craziest. It could be crazier, but it has some fun moments. I had a good time watching it today.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, Paige, do you want to hit us with those fun facts?
Yes.
Well, hit us with your fun facts.
Demon
Nipstick,
fun facts.
Oh, Nipstick.
That was Paige's joke. I wrote it down because I liked it so much. I was like, that's 2 syllables and funny. I'm saving that for the end.
Thank you.
You should invent Nipstick, and it'd be stuff to put on your nipples for people.
They make that. That already exists.
What's it called, Paige?
I don't know, but it should be called Nipstick.
I thought for sure it was called Nipstick.
It probably is. If I Google Nipstick, what comes up? Yeah, nipple cream made with 100% organic ingredients and a plant-based salve that helps relieve sore and cracked nipples associated with nursing. So don't suck on them too hard, Mikey.
Huh.
I want to point out that Mikey did not say no.
Of course not.
No's a hard no, you know?
Yeah. You know, never say never, right? Anyway, Linnea Quigley has been asked if she had ever seen one of her films with an audience, like without them knowing she was there, and watched them react to her on screen, because she's done a lot of movies where she has dynamic moments like this, like Return of the Living Dead, this one, others. I mean, she is a scream queen.
I mean, she is sort of known for exactly that. Yeah.
Yes. She saw this in a drive-in.
Wow.
And she said it was a great experience, but she forgot that the first scene she filmed was her bare ass basically bending over, and it was up on the screen really big. And I was like, oh God, and a little embarrassed, which is kind of funny because like she in multiple movies, willingly, gladly, happily does nudity when it's required for the movie and has a good time with it and is not ashamed and owns it. So I think it's funny for her to be like, well, this panty shot's a little embarrassing, but
here we are.
Here we are.
Yikes.
Amelia Kincaid choreographed that dance routine in front of the fire.
Really?
It's awesome too. So like, go for her.
It's clear that I didn't assume that she had choreographed it. It's clear that she's also a dancer though, because like, she was actually like it was better than Save the Last Dance. That's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
And honestly, Paige, I just want a movie that's focused on that part of this movie called Seance: The Last Dance, and then we'll leave it at that.
Oh.
But she's doing like the step. Anyway, Linnea Quigley met her husband at the time. I don't know if they're still married. I tried to look and find out, and I couldn't really find out. But special effects artist Steve Johnson, and they met when she came in to get the mold for her fake breasts done.
Oh.
And they were later married. Again, I don't know if they're still married, but
try before you buy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He goes out for drinks that day after work, and his buddies are like, "What did you guys do today?" "I modeled the tits I'm gonna marry."
Talk about taking your work home with you. Anyway, at around 53 minutes in the movie, that's the infamous lipstick scene. And Linnea Quigley had nude modeled long before she started doing movies, so she was comfortable doing the scene and read the script. She saw what they were going to do, and basically the way they had to do it was to make, and we kind of noticed this and talked about it, a full second set of breasts that she could then reach into and shove that lipstick into and laid on top of her breast. But they had to kind of like bind her breasts down because they were large. Anyway.
It's called a breast pocket, Paige. You have it so you can sneak alcohol into like concert venues.
Oh yeah, where you put like a Franzia bladder in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, she was actually specifically asked to come audition for this movie because the people who made this movie had seen Return of the Living Dead and saw her as trash and loved it. So they brought her in specifically for that role.
Yeah.
Kathy Podwell, who played Judy, was a waitress and quit her job when she got cast.
Wow, that's good for her.
It's a little short-sighted, but like, good for her.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, like, you could probably find another job waiting tables somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she'll be fine.
Absolutely. The house that was used as the main location, because it was a house. They did not build all of it out as sets. There was a standing structure. It was eventually demolished and subsequently replaced by a Ralph's supermarket.
So it is evil.
So it is evil. Amelia Kincaid has said that when she started doing horror conventions at her first one, 4 guys in their 20s came in with tattoos of her character.
What?
And this was 25 years after the film came out. She says that people still come up with tattoos of her character all the time, which I think is great.
That is kind of awesome.
Yes. According to Linnea Quigley, there was very little set deck on this film. The house just had a bunch of old crap in it, and they just kind of used it.
It does kind of look like that, yeah.
Yep. In the original draft of the script, the little brother character was supposed to sneak into the party as well. But due to labor laws and because he was underage, it was deemed too expensive. They scrapped that storyline. So some of the parts of Sal's character ended up, like the hiding in the coffin and everything. Some of that was going to be the brother. It becomes Sal eventually.
I think they were watching the dailies and they were like, do you think it's weird that he has pet names for boobs in all 9 scenes he's in and they're different? And they were like, yeah. Let's cut it down to 2 titty puns for his sister and cut him out of the movie.
I've got to save my sister and her cha-chas.
Cha-justice.
I'll leave you on 3 of my favorite fun facts that I've like ever found for movies. Number 1, there's a lot of butts in this movie, but one is conspicuously covered up, and that's because actor Hal Havins refused to show his posterior during the mooning scene at the beginning of the film.
Good for him.
You have the choice to do that. I respect your consent and your, choice to do so. An earlier draft of the film included a priest blessing the audience before the movie began.
I love that.
Which honestly, somebody should do that. Like, that's really hilarious to me. But they eventually scrapped it. And finally, Amelia Kincaid who definitely choreographed her own dance because she is a choreographer.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And her aunt is Rue McClanahan of the Golden Girls.
What?
And would visit the set to see her niece. Aww. Those are your fun facts for this movie.
Well, thank you for those fun facts.
Thank you, Paige. Let's talk a little bit about box office. So what do you think the production budget was for Night of the Demons when it came out in 1988?
I actually know, so I have to recuse myself.
$2 million.
So that's close to what I found for the movie budget. Paige, what did you find for the movie budget?
1.2 million.
That's what I found too. Yeah, so 1.2 million is what I found. I did see a source that was actually 3 million, but it did not look super credible. It was like a tweet.
I found 1.2 million in most places.
Yeah, I found that in multiple places. That's the reason I trusted that one more. But if you adjust for inflation, so it was like $3.2 million in today's dollars. But what do you think it made, and I'll just say worldwide at the box office, because it didn't get an international release?
$5 million.
Paige, do you have a guess or do you know?
I don't know, but I'm going to go with 3.1 million.
That's exactly what it is. It's 3.1 million. You probably read it while you were while you came across the budget
and just
too.
Absorbed it and didn't think about
realize
it.
you knew
That's
it. Yeah,
possible.
but it definitely is 3.1 million. Now, if you adjust that for inflation, that puts it at $8.3 million today, which, is it still making money? It was a $1.2 million budget, made 3.1, so it still made money. But I don't know that we got a sequel to this, did we?
No, there's three sequels. There's 2 regular sequels, and there's a remake in 2009.
What? Okay.
Oh, dang.
I'm excited to dig deeper into the lore of this.
I don't know if it's going to... 2009, I don't know if it's going to be goofy enough for me. I think they're going to try and make it scary.
It's a remake. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that good either. Night of the Demons 2, I think, is a better film.
Okay.
I think Demon Knight's better than all of them, but that's your box office. Mikey, do you want to hit us with that scary scale?
Yeah, our scary scale is how scary we found the film when we watched it today. It's a scale of 1 to 10, I think. And Paige, you can go first.
Ooh, I mean, this is a 1. I don't find it scary at all. I do find the dancing rad. And I'm curious what I can do with my nipples at home. Mikey.
1, I think. I wasn't scared, but I was excited.
It's definitely a 1 for me, dog. Was not scary at all.
That's our scary scale.
Yeah. So this week, Mikey, you made us watch Night of the Demons.
Yes.
What are you making us watch next week as we continue Mikey Movie Month?
So I thought we needed some more special effects, some more fun gore stuff, some silly stuff. So
okay.
I know you liked Reanimator.
Of course.
With the talking head in the tray. So the same director, From Beyond, is the film, and it is pretty wild, and it's a fun watch. I think it'll be fun.
All right. Well, your homework for next week is to watch Barbara Crampton in another creepy movie while we watch From Beyond, and then report back for that episode with special guest host Mikey.
Todd, do you have any reviews for us?
I do. I'm going to read you guys some Spotify comments that came in this week, and we got a lot that were very, I'll just say, Mikey themed. So I'm going to skip a lot of those, but no, out of the many, 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 many comments we got on this week's episode.
Where are the Patreonicals?
Motel Hell got a ton of comments, 4 of which didn't mention you, Mikey, so I'm going to skip those. But no, you're loved. I'm going to read this one from Morgan, and Morgan says, the nurse from the Blink-182 album cover is it Janine Ludenmulder? And she is, in fact, still alive? I probably butchered that name. But apparently, she's not dead.
I thought she was.
I thought she was too. I'm looking this up because it was like a story.
When you said it, it sounded right to me, but her Wikipedia says she's still very much alive.
Which nurse died then?
I don't know if it was a nurse. I don't think she's a nurse, Paige. I think she may have played a nurse in a various number of her films, but...
It was a whole news story about it.
Was it on The Onion?
No, this was... Mikey, back me up on this. This was like a thing.
No, it was like a thing. It was viral of she died. You're like, oh my God, I feel old. Well, there's so much news. It's hard to really keep track.
I mean, I'm glad she's not dead, though.
Yeah, I'm glad she's not dead either.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting us know she's still out there alive and kicking. But if you want to have me read your 5-star review and or Spotify comment, like I just read Morgan's, leave us an Apple 5-star review or a Spotify comment, and I'll do just that. So guys, if you like this show but want to hear Paige and I talk about romantic comedies or just regular romantic movies, check out our other podcast. Some might call it a sister podcast called Romancing the Pod, where we do just that weekly. It's a lot like this show, but for romance and romantic comedies, because Paige doesn't like them. So we make her watch them, just like you guys make me watch horror over here. But if you want to follow me, I am at Todd J. Awesome on all the social media. Paige is at Rampage Wesley on Instagram?
Yes, and TikTok.
And just Paige Wesley on Twitter, because you got that before some CEO lady and she wanted it, but you wouldn't give it back, and I respect you for that.
Refuse.
Also, Paige
Suck it, other Paige Wesley.
Paige is also on another podcast. It's great. You should check it out. It's called Cult Podcast with Armando Torres, who is a wonderful person. And if you want to support this show, go to Patreon at patreon.com/horrorvirgin, where there are a lot of great levels and a lot of great things. We do the Patreon shout outs at the beginning of every episode. We do listener requests, stuff like that, bonus episodes. So you'll be getting all of that content, plus episodes a day early with no ads, and who doesn't love that? So sign up for the Patreon and get a lot of great stuff.
And that's going to be it for us, you guys. I'm Paige.
I'm Mikey.
And I'm your horror virgin, Todd.
Keep it ooky spooky.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
Bye. We'll see you next week, nerds.